Hello from the Butte County Superior Court. This video will introduce you to what is a grand jury and help you to decide whether or not you want to participate in this process. The grand jury is a well-respected investigative body of the judicial branch of government. The Butte County Grand Jury has three purposes: to serve as a watchdog over local government, to investigate citizen complaints about local public agencies and officials, and occasionally to hear and determine whether evidence in criminal matters is sufficient for an indictment to occur. The grand jury exercises its power through reports, indictments, and recommendations for change. A report on all of the grand jury's findings is submitted to the presiding judge of the Butte County Superior Court at the end of the service term. Serving in the grand jury is an honor, and Butte County grand jurors typically find the experience to be quite rewarding. Here are some reflections of previous grand jurors. Even after the greatest fire catastrophe in California history, grand jurors persevered and managed to continue moving forward with their tasks. I am honored to be a part of this great team of citizens. Grand jury foreperson, 2018 to 2019. We urge those citizens who receive a letter offering this opportunity to give it serious consideration. For those able to devote the time and energy, it is a very worthwhile and rewarding opportunity to become a better informed citizen and contribute to your community. 2019-2020 Grand Jury. Serving has been a rewarding and interesting experience for all of us, and we are pleased to have had this opportunity to serve our community. 2019-2020 Grand Jury. The institution of the grand jury has origins in ancient England and was established in our country with the creation of the United States Constitution and subsequent Fifth Amendment. In California, the grand jury system has been in existence since the adoption of the state constitution in 1879. California is one of the only states where the authority of the grand jury lies in the state constitution. There is a distinction between a civil and criminal grand jury. Criminal grand juries handle criminal indictments on the state, federal, or local level. They also investigate local government agencies, accusations against public officials, and complaints that may have criminal implications. Civil grand juries also investigate government institutions and complaints made by the public, but focus more on the operations and efficiency of these institutions. The civil grand jury is not necessarily looking for criminal behavior, but if any is found, the grand jury will turn the information over to the district attorney. The grand jury selection process has multiple steps. First, Butte County Superior Court sends letters and applications determined by electronic random selection. Then, judges of the Superior Court conduct personal interviews with the respondents who are interested and qualified for the position. Lastly, 30 jurors are selected, 19 of which will serve as that year's grand jury, and 11 of which are chosen as alternates by random draw. Grand jury members represent every geographical, economic, and social interest in our county. The grand jury is not intended to be and should not view itself as a super government for the county. It is not the function of the grand jury to interfere with the discretionary policymaking powers of public officials. Only when public officials violate applicable laws do they become proper subjects for comment or action by the grand jury. The grand jury is tasked with ensuring that the government is effectively serving the public. Essentially, they ensure that local governments are conducting business in the best interests of the county's citizens. Grand juries investigate inefficiencies, unfairness, wrongdoing, and violations of public laws and regulations in their local governments. Under Penal Code 919 and 920, the grand jury may inquire into the case of every person imprisoned in the county jail on a criminal charge and not indicted. Under Penal Code 927 and 928, the grand jury may investigate and report upon the needs for an increase or decrease in salaries of the county elected officials, the needs of all county officers, including the abolition or creation of offices and the equipment for performing the duties of the several offices. The grand jury also makes inquiries into the condition and management of the public prisons within the county and shall inquire into the willful misconduct in office of any public officer of the county. The grand jury may investigate all sales and transfers of land which may be returned to the state of California and shall investigate the operations and records of the departments of the county. During the course of their term, the grand jury is heavily involved with agencies and local governments that they are investigating. This process will include inspections and site visits, interviews with individuals, and compiling information into a final report. At the end of their term of service, the grand jurors compile a final report to be reviewed by the presiding judge of Butte County Superior Court. Once finalized, the report is released to the public as well as to associated agencies. The report will include recommendations to the agencies investigated, which may or may not be adopted or implemented. Commonly investigated agencies in the past have included city governments located within the county, Butte County Jail, Butte County Department of Public Works, fire departments, school districts, and Butte County Juvenile Hall. Citizen complaints may also be investigated. These must involve actions of local government, be of general benefit to the community, and must not be currently in litigation. Notable examples of past grand jury investigations in Butte County have included the City of Paradise following the Camp Fire, perceived issues in the operations of the City of Orville's staff and budget, and the Butte County Public Works Division following the 2017 Orville Dam spillway emergency. A special criminal grand jury was also involved in investigating, indicting, and reporting on the charges against PG&E following the Camp Fire in 2018. At the end of each report, the grand jury will list which agencies are required to respond. These responses may be agreements with the findings or explanations as to why a certain recommendation cannot be implemented or how it will be addressed. The grand jury report may also garner media attention from local news outlets. Headings have included such headlines as Butte County Superior Court releases 2019-2020 grand jury report. Another one has been Grand Jury Report reinforces need for Butte County Jail expansion. It is vital to understand that the investigation and ongoing work of the grand jury during a fiscal year is required by law to be secret. This will protect whistleblowers who provide information during the investigation and ensures the confidentiality and safety of anyone else involved with a pending investigation. Under Penal Code 924.1 and 924.2, every member of the grand jury must keep secret the business of the grand jury, or they may be guilty of a misdemeanor. If selected to serve on the grand jury, you may be approached by individuals who will seek to engage you in discussions concerning matters within your field of inquiry or action. They may be seeking to obtain information for their own purposes or may give you information in oral or written form. In these situations, it is your duty to keep your own counsel and to look for information given in good faith. Grand jurors should always be on guard to avoid disclosure and commitments related to an investigation. Grand jury work will take up some of your time. You should allow for at least one day each week for jury work, or roughly 10 hours a week. Commitment varies, as every grand jury is different, and certain investigations may take more time than others. Grand jury members will collectively decide meeting days and times. Usually, the grand jury's year of service starts in July and ends in June, following the fiscal year calendar. However, Penal Code 905.5b allows for the Board of Supervisors to authorize a transition to a calendar year with an extended term if the circumstances allow for it, as was the case during 2020 due to the coronavirus pandemic. This is not a full-time job. Certainly, vacations are necessary and appropriate. However, a multi-month vacation, for example, would conflict with grand jury service, in which case you'd be asked to step down from your role and an alternate would be selected to serve. Members are paid a per diem, or set daily compensation amount for attendance at grand jury meetings. Allowed purchases are also reimbursed by the county by submitting an expense claim form. In addition, round-trip mileage to attend regular grand jury meetings is paid at the current IRS standard mileage rate. Several people will be there to help you along the way, should you have questions or need assistance. Court services staff who have helped to coordinate the grand jury for many years can assist with administrative questions. County counsel and the presiding judge will be able to assist the grand jury with legal questions. The agencies to be investigated are also often forthcoming and cooperative during the grand jury's investigation process. Prospective grand jurors must meet the following qualifications: be a citizen of the United States, be at least 18 years old, be a resident of Butte County for at least 1 year immediately before selection, exhibit ordinary intelligence, sound judgment, fair character, and possess sufficient knowledge of the English language. Must not be serving as a trial juror in any California court. Cannot have been discharged as a grand juror in any California court within 1 year of the beginning date of service. Cannot have been convicted of malfeasance in office, any felony, or other high crime. Cannot be serving as an elected public official. It is important that each grand juror bear in mind that you are a member of a body which consists of 18 others. You must work together with mutual tolerance, courtesy, and respect. Keep in mind your common goal of improving Butte County. The grand jury is a deliberative body. Although each grand juror has the right and the duty to act and vote according to their own judgment, they should do so only after deliberation with all grand jurors. It is important that each grand juror fully states to all grand jurors any information received by them relative to actual or possible subjects of inquiry. Thorough communication is essential for success during the grand juror's term of service. There will be one foreperson who is selected by the presiding judge. The foreperson will serve in a leading and coordinating role within the grand jury, including setting up meetings, checking in on committees, and crafting the opening letter for the grand jury report. Other leading roles within the grand jury may include foreperson pro tem, corresponding secretary, sergeant at arms, recording secretary, and treasurer. Each member of the grand jury is expected to participate in the work of 3 committees. Each committee, if possible, will consist of 5 or more members. Jurors may serve on more than 3 committees if they wish and have the time to do so. The foreperson of the grand jury will not have a committee assignment, but will be an ex officio member of all committees. One member of each committee will be appointed chairperson by the foreperson subject to their willingness to serve. Each chairperson will be asked to serve on one other committee besides their own. Appointments are usually based on the skills of the jurors. Examples of committees in previous Butte County grand juries have included Audit and Finance, City Governments, County Governments, and Information Services. Other committees may take leading roles in compiling interviews and research into the final report, tracking responses to the report, and whether recommendations were implemented. The grand jury is currently provided a space to conduct its meetings in the lower level of the Butte County Law Library located in Orville. Grand jurors may find the resources available at the Law Library to be useful to their committee's reports and investigations. As mentioned earlier in this presentation, there is a time commitment required to be on the grand jury. If you choose to interview, we will require that you sign a declaration of availability. Please carefully consider your availability before signing this document. You will present this document to the judges after you interview. The interviews are short sessions conducted by judges at the court. They are not designed to be stressful experiences, and you do not need to prepare anything ahead of time. If you are interviewed and chosen to serve on the grand jury, the court will presume you are available and ready to serve as a grand juror. Please do not interview with us unless you can commit to this service. If selected as a grand juror, you will be required to submit a statement of economic interest. This statement is also known as the Form 700 for the Fair Political Practices Commission. On this form, you'll be required to disclose any reportable interest in real property, excluding principal residence, any reportable investments and business positions held in business entities which have done business with the county government in the previous 2 years. Any reportable income from business entities which have done business with the county government in the previous 2 years, and any reportable income from individuals who are county employees. Filing a statement of economic interest is a requirement of becoming a grand juror. After the interviews, 30 people will be selected as grand jurors by random draw. The first 19 names polled will be designated as active grand jurors. The remaining 11 names will be designated as alternate grand jurors in the order they are polled. In past years, we have used all of our alternate grand jurors. The selected grand jurors are expected by order of the court to attend the formal impanelment. During impanelment, the outgoing grand jury is acknowledged and thanked for their service, and the incoming grand jury is welcomed. It is crucial for all incoming grand jurors to be present at the impanelment. Butte County is a beautiful place made better by its everyday citizens. Show your county pride and make a lasting difference. To access the Butte County Grand Jury website, including past reports, go to www.buttecounty.net. The address is also listed below. For more information, contact Butte County Superior Court, Court Services Division at 530-532-7013. Thank you for watching this video. We hope it provided you some necessary information to help you decide if you would like to interview for the Butte County Grand Jury. Please call us if you have any further questions.